Yo, my name is Marcus
Let's get
Russell,
fit, man.
and this the Marcus Russell Show. Yo, my main man Trumpito just dropped a bombshell announcement on Truth Social, basically using the J. Edgar quote to say this will be a country of law and order again.
Yeah,
Let's roll some
can't
footage.
wait.
President-elect Donald Trump is now slamming President Biden's 11th hour commutations of nearly all federal death row inmates. Trump posting on Truth Social that once he's in the White House, he will, quote, direct the Justice Department to vigorously pursue the death penalty to protect American families and children from violent rapists. We will be a nation of law and order again.
So
Meanwhile,
I
an
know we
outpouring
early. I know we're early into the video, guys, but I believe there should be zero remorse for people that are out here taking advantage of children, right? Biden is doing as much damage as he can before Trump gets in office as possible.
Swear.
Literally, like it's becoming bad to be an American
How
citizen.
many pardons has Biden had in total?
Around 8,000, like 100. It unlimited at this point.
Oh man, so how many did he pardon for this term going out?
38 or 37, something weird
37,
like
but they
that.
was these is 40 death row inmates that was about to get, so pretty much all of the death row people that was about to get the death penalty,
They did
um
some pretty violent crimes at this point.
murders. Most of them, you're only going to get the death penalty if you murder somebody or kill somebody, or you're not going to get the death penalty for a non-violent crime.
This might be sound like a tricky question, but are these preemptive pardons? Is
Not
he doing it just like he's doing the Nancy Pelosi,
Well, these
right?
people are already on death row.
Uh-huh.
38 of them are about to die soon.
Hmm.
Well, they're not now.
But they still done enough damage to the society
Imagine that. And what about the families?
that
You
are
know what I'm
hurt from
saying?
this.
Right. If you kill my family and then all of a sudden
You
the
get out
president,
of jail.
yeah, man, you could. It's
This is
an
deep.
idiot move.
Let's keep going, guys. We don't want this to be a long video.
of outrage and disbelief from relatives of the victims of those death row inmates set free
See?
by Biden. One person whose sister was fatally strangled is now speaking out, telling the New York Post, quote, why does he need to get special treatment? He's just going to risk other people. What justification does Biden have for doing this? I want to have him explain to us, to our faces, why he chose to give them mercy when they didn't give other people mercy. Karl Rove is former White House Deputy Chief of Staff and a Fox News contributor. Karl, the outrage is certainly understandable, and it's worth noting that before Jorge Avila Torres murdered Naval Officer Amanda Snell, he also raped and murdered an 8 and 9-year-old child.
What?
Two girls. You see those girls
Man.
here. Their names are Laura Hobbs and Crystal Tobias, next to Naval Officer
God.
Amanda Snell. Do you think, Karl, that Joe Biden knows the names Laura Hobbs and Crystal Tobias and even knew this?
Nah,
No,
he's just doing
absolutely
damage.
not. Look, this is a morally bankrupt act by the outgoing president. Think about this. He takes all but 3 of the people who were on death row for federal crimes involving murder, and all but 3, and says, I'm going to commute your sentences, but I'm going to allow the death penalty to be applied in these 3 other high-profile cases where we might know the names of the victims because they include things such as the guy who bombed the Boston Marathon. I mean, why say the death penalty is wrong in those 37 cases and right in the other 3? At least he would be morally consistent if he said, I oppose the death penalty, even though it is a law established on the statute books of the United States by an act of Congress signed by a previous president of the United States. I'm going to ignore that law, but at least it would be consistent. I hate the death penalty. Nobody should have to be dealt with in that way. But
Yo,
no, we're going to have some.
remember I was telling you about the Trumpito pardons?
Yeah.
I was telling you about that black
Only
girl.
240.
Right. These is like people like that black lady in South Carolina. She had got like 10 years for stealing something from Walgreens.
Uh-huh.
He pardoned her. Southwest T, which is Meech's brother, pardoned him. Little rappers that was career was about to be ended. A couple of them, they got
Yeah.
10 years. He pardoned a couple of them. Several normal, non-murdering American citizens.
But
You know
you're
what I'm
talking
saying?
about Biden just pardoned people that took advantage of kids.
Man,
It's a
a
word that
child
we can't
rapist?
see on
I mean, a
YouTube, but they
child
did
or
some pretty gruesome things to some kids.
right. Why would you even consider pardoning them?
And I'll tell you guys like this. Adam Schiff, or Barack Obama, Michelle, no, I'm not gonna say Michelle Obama, but I will say Caitlin Collins, Facebook, CNN, MSNBC. He needs to go after these people that are spreading false narratives about him, not telling the truth. And just one more to add on there, Jack Smith, Fonnie
Yep.
Willis. These people are throwing just boomerangs at him, man, and it's getting out of hand. It's getting
Man,
out of hand, and like as we watch this video, how can you sit there and let Biden? You want to vote Democrat, you want to vote blue. How can you sit there and let Biden take advantage of you like this?
I mean, it could have been so many better things he could have did going out of office
This is
for
psychological
us.
warfare
And
at
it's the
this
same
point.
thing we're always saying. What is he doing for the people? Maybe he's not listening to America. Clearly,
I don't understand it, man. Let's keep going. We don't want this to be a long one. Make sure you guys hitting that subscribe button.
it doesn't subscribe.
Keep going, man.
Yo,
Where the death penalty will apply and others where it won't. And you're right, he cannot mention a single victim, I suspect, of a murder that he has now commuted the sentence to life in prison. I mean, this is astonishing. And to do it on the eve of Christmas, think about those families who lost a loved one and how they're going to be dealing with that trauma during what ought to be
It's
one of the
crazy.
most
It's
beautiful
so
moments
wild.
of the year.
Well, that's such a
God bless them, and God
Christmas.
question why Joe Biden did this.
That's such a great point on multiple levels, Carl.
He didn't do that.
Whether
He
or
did
not
not
you're
do
morally
that.
One
equating
second.
one.
What was you saying?
I just seen Biden for Christmas reading a book. Well, he wasn't reading nothing, like
He's
I
probably on the
said.
beach or something
Deal
with
was
a
reading.
book over
Yeah,
his eyes.
he is making no decisions. He's completely like they say. I keep saying, who made the money from this? Who made the decision?
Look
He
what
ain't
you got
been
to.
at work. He's in on the beach somewhere.
It doesn't
You know what
make
I mean?
sense at this point, guys.
Trumpito's already the president, even though he doesn't start to the 22nd, 21st.
He's spoken to world leaders already without being in
He's
office.
running a de facto president right now.
It's crazy that he got away with pardoning these people. I I don't want to keep saying it, but they took advantage of kids.
Man,
This is deep, man. I'm telling you guys.
sick.
Heinous act versus another, but specifically with the timing, you worked in the White House. Was there any reason that it had to be done right before the most sentimental holiday? Stabbing, just a dagger of grief to these families now reacting. Could it have waited until
crazy.
after the holidays, perhaps in the new year?
Sure, he could have. But look, let's go back to the essential nature of this, which is Joe Biden has made a decision that he was so offensive in his language. He said, I believe in a fair legal system. Well, these men and women were fairly tried and held in a court of law by a jury of their peers to have committed a heinous act and were judged accordingly and granted the death penalty. And he decides this is not a case where, while they were sitting in prison, they did something incredible. They saved the life of a fellow inmate, or they found God and entered a religious order, or, no,
Nah.
they did. There's no attempt to say, well, these people deserve to have their sentence commuted because of things that they've done since the time that they were found guilty. It is a simple act that they were found guilty of a crime so heinous that they were given the death penalty that has drawn the mercy of Joe Biden. Of course, except for the three that, for some reason, he's not granting a commutation of their death sentence. This is unbelievably callous and stupid, in my opinion.
Well, and
Man, I tell you guys like this. Biden needs to be held accountable for what he's done to this country. And then you got to sit there and look at it. This is an embarrassment for us all around the world. They're
Man.
probably reading the news, laughing at us over in Australia, Canada. This is getting out of hand.
Yo, you know what, YouTube? Like, we go through all the highlights, all the top news every
Yep.
day, and we try to find the story that we either find funny, interesting, or important to our viewers,
Our audience, yep.
our audience. And it's like stuff like this. We don't even because it's embarrassing, even because we're Americans too.
Yep.
It's embarrassing to us when our running active president is leaving all our weapons in Afghanistan, is releasing pretty much every murderer on death row.
Doesn't make sense.
It make
And they're
us
doing
all
it
look bad.
a day before Christmas. These people may have took someone that you loved, right? And you got to find out that that guy's about to be back out on the loose. Like, come on, man. Let us know what you think about this video. Be sure to check out his channel in the description.
Check it out.
Always let us know what to react to. We're out.
Peace.